Hey, what's up, family? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Chief Kalinago. Chief Kalinago in the building. We about to do a little something. Hope everybody's having a great day. Let me just make sure that give me a second. Let me make sure I got some live feed right here. All right. While I give you guys some time to tune in live into the discussion, let me see how this is going on. The live feed is working right now, so give me a second, family. Want to give you guys some time to tune in. All right, let me see how this is going to work here. I'm trying to see if I could get this live feed right here. All right, give me a second, please. Trying to set up the chat. That's what I'm trying to do right now. All right, so I guess I'm going to have to go to this other page. Right, give me a second, family. Give me a second, please. Bear with me. Get this right by now. You know, I should know how to do this, man. Like, seriously. I should know how to do this by now, but it's all right, though. It's right. So, all right, family. All right, so I'm back. Okay, so like I said, man, it's a beautiful day in New York. Even if it's raining, actually kind of rained all day. I got a notification on my phone that there was going to be a storm, but I'm inside, you know, it's a little bit cold. So, you know, I got the hoodie on, you know, incognito right now, but it's all good. Family, so as usual, you know, I'm going to try to bring some information to you. And we're just going to have a little, you know, a little dialogue today, a little back and forth. So let me see who's actually on the live feed right now. Show some love, let me know you're in here. All right. Give some more people some time to get in, get on. All right. Who do we have here so far? All right. What's up? Authentic? I still got to give you a call back, brother. I didn't forget you, just so you know that. It's just, I'm getting ready to move and everything is just a little bit, you know, not organized right now, but I will give you a call, not today though, most likely on tomorrow. So if you're free, we'll talk, all right? But today, you know, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit. I know I have a quick outline. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that for understanding. A quick outline about, you know, as you can see, the topic, you know, our ancestors are not dead. And it's time. Now, if you see in the description, I have not dead. It's time to establish tact. The reason and not contact is because when I was doing the heading of the video and I was about to put contact, and pull me up and tell me to not use contact, but look at the etymology of the word tact, about the prefix con word. And you know, sometimes people say don't matter, but words do matter, because literally when you speak, you're casting spells. So we have to be very mindful of the words that we use. You feel me? So like I said, I was about to use contact, but the ancestors pulled me up and had me look at the etymology of tact, not even realizing that it was a word. But of course, it's a compound word. You know, English is a compound language. So tact is actually a word. So we're going to look at the etymology real quick of the word tact, so we could read that, because like I said, I always like people to do their own research. Don't just take anything I say for the truth. Don't believe me. I never want you to believe me. Okay? I want you to do your research yourself. So right now, I'm going to look at the etymology of the word tact. And I want you to check it out yourself. Okay? Tact, T-A-C-T, 1650s, sense of touch or feeling with an isolated instance. All right? From Latin tactus, a touch. Handling, sense of touch, from to touch, handle, meaning a sense of discernment in action or conduct. Diplomacy, fine, intuitive, mental perception. Okay, so I just wanted to, let y'all know the reason why I did that. But let's talk about the ancestors are not dead. Okay, and I kind of mentioned that in a video before. A lot of times, our people celebrate, well, not necessarily celebrate, but a lot of our people moan when our loved ones, they ascend. Okay, and what I mean by that is when we have loved ones that people say like that so-called died, people go into a hysteria, people cry, people pray and people say rest in peace and all that stuff. But in my opinion, we shouldn't send our loved ones off by asking them to rest in peace, because when you ask them to rest in peace, to me, it just sounds too eternal, to rest in peace. Okay, because there is no such thing as death. Death doesn't exist. The physical body goes back to rest, but the true you, okay, that breath of life, that energy, okay, that goes back to the source. You know what I mean? So there's no such thing as death, and it has been proven over and over again. And I will give you an example of what I'm talking about. Last night when I went to bed, I meditated, of course, and I was supposed to get up at 5 o'clock to go train a client. And my alarm went off, and I text my client, and she texted me back saying that she can't train. Her body was hurting too much from the training we did, the day before. So I said, okay, cool. All right. So instead of going back to sleep, I got the urge, the spirit, came to me and said, okay, you know what? Just, meditate, because I've been asking my ancestors for some direction. So I got my headphones, got some meditation music, and I have a piece of, not cloth, but kind of like a piece of cloth I put over my eye when the sun, when it's daylight out, so it could be dark. So I did that just so that, it could be extremely dark when I meditate. And then I laid down, closed my eyes, got into the music, got into my vibe, and I started meditating. Okay, so nothing in particular, just asking my ancestors to guide me and show me the way and what do I need to do and stuff like that. All right, so the track of the meditation music was exactly 1 hour. So I knew I was going to meditate for that hour. Okay, so I meditated for that hour, and when the video ended, the meditation music ended, I stopped. And then I went to sleep with all the thoughts that came to my mind. Okay, again, still in the vibration or the frequency of asking my ancestors to connect to me or with me. All right, so here I am, kind of fell into a sleep, and a vision came. Okay, and the vision was, Dr. Martin Luther King. Okay, so he literally took me, where he got shot, right? And that's real, family. I'm not making this up. Okay, so I was there where he got shot. I saw when he got shot, and then they took him and they put him in a truck, in the back of a truck, right? And they had a driver. Now, there were people that was actually trying to get in the truck, but he didn't want anybody else. They didn't want anybody else to be in the truck. For some reason, I ended up in the back of the truck with just me and him. But I thought he was dead. Okay, so the truck was driving to a location. I don't know where it was going. But with that being said, so I'm here, panicking, Dr. King got shot. And then all of a sudden, somebody touched my hand. Okay, so I kind of, like in the vision, I jumped up, you know what I'm saying? And then it was him. He was awake. So then he told me, don't be afraid, I am not dead. Okay, so I said, okay, cool. So anyway, he said that he wanted to take me someplace. All right, he wanted to take me someplace. I said, cool. So he told me to tell the driver to go to a certain location. So I asked the driver to go to that location, and when we got to a building, he told me to stop. So I told the driver to stop, and then he went into a building, and he went, I think, on the third or the second or the fourth floor, but it wasn't the first floor. It was like one of the floors on top. Okay, and he didn't want anybody else to go with him except me. So he went into a room, and he told me that I should stay outside the door of that room. And then he went in there for like about 2 or 3 hours, and then he came back out, and he said, I want to introduce you to a son that I have that nobody know of. Okay, so he took me into the room. He introduced me to his son. Okay, and I forgot the name of the son, but it was like a funny name, not a funny name, but a weird name. You know what I'm saying? And he said, this is the son that nobody knows of, and I want you to look him up. I said, okay, cool, it's not a problem. All right. So when that was done, I met the son. We had a long conversation, and then we went back down. All of a sudden, while we were going down back the steps, you know, the transition was we ended up in the back of the truck again. All right. And we were driving to another location. But while we were driving, we saw, in fact, I didn't see it. He told me to tell the driver to stop. There is a barricade, a blockade of police officers a few miles ahead, so that I should stop and I should get out. So I got a little concerned. I'm like, well, Dr. King, what happened to you? I'm not going to leave you. He said, no, don't worry about me. I'm okay. I'm not dead. I'm going to be all right, but I want you to leave. Okay. So I jumped out of the truck. I jumped out of the truck, and then I just look at the truck drive towards the blockade, and then I went over a little hill. Okay. Now, the dream or the vision went from that to somewhere I ended up, because I don't know if people know Brooklyn, but for those of you who know Brooklyn, there's like a long stretch of street that's called Church Avenue, right? So I ended up on Church Avenue, and then the streets were completely empty. Nobody was in the streets, like everybody was in their home. And there was one police officer who drove up in his car and came out with a bullhorn, and he was asking for an address. Now, the address that Martin Luther King gave me for the building was 741, some address, but the number was 741, which I was supposed to play today. I forgot. Damn. Look at the time right now, 4444. Much respect to the ancestors, peace and love, I honor you. You know what I'm saying? But family, it was so amazing, man. It gave me goosebumps. You know what I mean? So the police was on his bullhorn, and he's saying he had a piece of paper, and he was saying, do anybody know this address? You know, but I'm not sure if it was the same 741, but everybody was afraid to come out. And he was like, listen, I don't want nobody giving me no wrong information, trying to send me into an ambush, or else I'm going to shoot everybody. So I was the only one who came out in the street to stop the police from going forward. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, in the vision, that ended, and it took me to another location, all right, where I was talking to millions of people. Okay, like family, this was all real. I'm talking about in the vision. And I was talking to millions of people, and I was telling them that it is time for our people to wake up. We have to give these people back their birth certificates and their social security numbers. And all of a sudden, I'm talking about over 2 million people. Each and every one of them took out their birth certificates and their social security numbers, and they were burning it in the streets. And all of a sudden, a big flame in the streets with everybody burning their social security number, burning their birth certificates. And, you know, it was just a beautiful thing. And then the vision took me to another location where I had about 3,000 young children, teaching them, you know what I'm saying? Teaching them who they were, you know, talking to them, telling them they're not black, letting them know that they're, you know, indigenous to the Americas, that they are the American Aborigines. And all of a sudden I started seeing those children growing in front of me. And then I got up from the sleep. But family, you know, I mean, I don't know how to explain what happened with, you know, Dr. King, you know what I'm saying? Or what all that means. But just to let you know that our ancestors are not dead, man. Our ancestors are right here with us, you know. And when I woke up, another thing that came to mind was, I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back into meditation to see if I could, you know, pull him back into my vision. Okay. So I took my headphones, put on my music. Okay. And I meditated again for another, maybe like another half an hour. All right. And then I took it off, and then I tried to go back into a light sleep. Hey, peace and love, Brother Sanchez. So, I tried to go back into another light sleep to see if I could pull Dr. King back into the vision. Okay. But this time what came was that our ancestors wanted me to know that, how did it go? It's something like they wanted me to, it was basically for healing. They wanted me to know and say that I forgive them and that they forgive me. And basically what that means was they said that what happened to them, it wasn't their fault. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are literally angry at our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Thinking a lot of these things was their fault. And they wanted me to say that it is not their fault. And they are not mad at us right now. It's just that a lot of our people are misled. But we need to forgive each other. In other words, forgive them because they have forgiven us. And family, like I said, I'm a grown man, but I'm gonna keep it real. In the sleep, I got up and tears was in my eyes and I was crying. You know what I'm saying? So when I got up, I said, all right, cool. My heart was beating fast. And then I just say, okay, you know what? I say thank you to my ancestors. Thanks for being here. Thanks for connecting with me. And, yes, I forgive y'all for what happened. I know it's not your fault. And I hope you forgive me. You know what I'm saying? For me, blaming you for what happened to us. You know what I'm saying? And family, that's the experience that I had. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, man, because, it was all so a real moment for me, and I always, I want you guys to experience this so much where you could connect and vibe with our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people hit me up and say, well, Chief, how do you do this? I'm just telling you what I do. When I meditate, I go to sleep with whatever I want to meditate about. I go to sleep and I ask the ancestors to come into my dreams or come into my visions. And they always come and they show me certain things. You know what I'm saying? So that was my experience. And I just wanted to let y'all know that they say that they're not dead. And we need to forgive each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they have forgiven us for blaming them. You know what I'm saying? For what has transpired or what happened. A lot of us don't know the true story of really what happened to our ancestors. And we thinking it's their fault and stuff like that. But they really fought to hold on to what we had. You know what I'm saying? But they got outpowered. You know what I mean? So some forgiving have to take place. And a lot of people may not be able to connect to the ancestors because they have this blockage, they have this hatred, they have this animosity. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is this: so many of our people don't know that they are literally American Aborigines, that this is their home. And because they think their home is somewhere else, they cannot connect to the ancestors that have been here. You see what I'm saying? They cannot connect because you have disconnected from them. You have disconnected your soul and your spirit from your mother, your homeland. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of people can't connect. So that was the message that I got to bring to you guys. And I just wanted to bring it and let you know. But with that being said, let me just say thank you to each and every one of y'all, for tuning in. Much love to my brother Sanchez. I was listening to your live feed about the conversation or the topic about religion and all that. It was very interesting. I mean, and you had some good points on that, brother. You hold your own. So much respect to the God. But family, so I just wanted to share that experience, with you in terms of, what happened. Let you know that, Dr. King is not dead. You know what I'm saying? His spirit lives on. And again, it was just so real because when he touched me, I felt it in my sleep. I felt it in my vision. And I saw his face. And it wasn't a dead face. It wasn't a dead face. His face was vibrant. His face was young. It was strong. And even if I saw when he got shot, he didn't look like he got shot in the back of that truck. He said, listen, I am not dead. No need to be afraid. You know what I mean? And we walked up the stairs. We came back down and he laid back in the truck like he was dead. And then he told me to jump out. You know what I mean? But I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna try to go back in sometime and see if I could finish, the sequel to that vision, because that's what I do a lot of times. I have what's called a dream book. All right. So when I dream certain things, I composed it in my book so that I could see if I could continue it, a continuation of it. So a lot of times what I do is before before I go into the dream state, I meditate, and then I go to sleep, thinking of the meditation. So that will be a continuation of the meditation. So some of you guys could try that and see if it works for you as well. All right. Now, I told you guys about the dream. Now I'm going to talk about justice. Okay. A lot of our people are seeking justice. All right. A lot of people are seeking justice. And I have to keep it real with you, family. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Please do not hate the messenger. I am just the messenger. I want you to hate the system that created the chaos that we're in right now. But I have to keep it real with you. And that's just what it is. All right. So a lot of our people are looking for justice, even with, I just saw a post on Facebook where I'm not sure who or what was the brother's name, but the brother that got shot in the wheelchair, the police officer, got exonerated. You know what I'm saying? It's like they were playing this kind of double jeopardy thing where he got convicted for violating his civil rights, but on other accounts he didn't get charged for murder. You know what I'm saying? So because he had this dual citizenship, like they're always playing these games so that they could free the killers of our children and our brothers and sisters. But I really want y'all to pay attention to what I'm saying in this video right here. Okay? People are looking for justice. Justice. But one thing you have to realize is this. So-called Black people and African Americans cannot get justice. And I'm going to tell you why. Because being African American is a United States government term that was created. Black was, in terms of an identity, was created by the corporation. But within their statutes and codes, African American and Black people are dead. Okay? They are not real. They are corporate constructs. They are stock. They are, stock, human capital, 3/5 human. That's who they are. Okay? And what got us in that position was the birth certificates. Okay? That bond, that contract. So you are, as far as they are concerned, you are not a flesh. You are not flesh people. You are capital. You are property. So therefore, you cannot get justice because dead people cannot get justice. You are already dead. So there's nothing just about that. Okay? So therefore, the only thing you will get is just is. It just is what it is. I'm going to repeat myself. You will not get justice because you are already dead in law. Okay? But however, you will get just is. It just is what it is. Because you are not a life, flesh being in their construct. And that's what I'm trying to get my people to really get a true understanding of. You see, this hoodie is black, but yet still you could still see my face. If I was black, then I would just be I would disappear. But family, the point I'm trying to make is this. I am not saying there's anything wrong with the color black. As you can see, I love the color black. I have a lot of black clothes. It makes me look slick. You know what I'm saying? I love it. However, black is not a nationality. It is not a nationality. And I'm talking about within their system. Now, if we had our own system, if we ruled the world, we could call ourselves anything that we want. That wouldn't be a problem. But the problem is we don't run this system. We don't run the system. So we have to keep it real with ourselves and know what it means. And that's the reason why they could walk around and kill you and beat you in the streets and do what the hell they want with it and get away with it. You know why? Because to them and in the eyes of the world, they have made you dead. People without value. People who, the walking dead, basically. So when they kill you, it will just look like another, another dead person dying. I don't know if that makes sense. In other words, the world becomes insensitized of the atrocities that we face in this country, because to the world, they have already presented us as worthless savages. So now we have to redirect our thinking. Okay, you have to redirect your thinking in order to free yourself. Free yourself so that you could become human again, become flesh and blood again. Family, I am not, when I come to you, man, I'm coming to you because I love you. You feel me? Like I tell people, I know the things that I say is not popular, and it's okay. I don't want it to be popular. But however, I want you to hear me. Hear me. And even before I continue, let me just say that when I speak to indigenous people. I speak to the indigenous peoples of the world, particularly my brothers and sisters on the American continent, because this is my home. I don't want it to come across as if I am trying to solicit the citizens of the United States. I am talking to my indigenous brothers and sisters. I'll always like to make my disclaimer. But family, you have to realize that this is our home. We already had it before they came. So therefore, every natural creator given right we had before the invaders came, we still have it. However, the only way they could have taken it away from you was to change your identity. And when they changed your identity, that's when we lost everything. We lost our religion. We lost our natural creator given rights, and we lost our land. So what they had to do, they couldn't abuse the flesh, you. Okay? I mean, of course, they did it at first, because that's how they took our land. They overpowered us. But because that happened, they couldn't do it any longer, because they had to abolish that kind of physical slavery. You see, but at that time, the mental slavery had already kicked in. So what they had to do was they had to create another version of you. And I know a lot of you guys already heard about the term the straw man. I'm not going to get into that, but literally what they had to do was they had to create another version of you. Okay, so that they could abuse that version of you, but have you be the representative of that person. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me see if I could elaborate on that a little bit. If you look at your driver's license, your birth certificate, your social security number, all the bills that come to your house, your name is in capital letters. This is the fake entity that they created to represent you within their statutes and codes. That's what they are abusing. They are abusing the fictitious you. However, you have accepted, you see, that classification, that identity is you. So therefore, you have to represent it. So in other words, if they give the fictitious entity, which is your all capital letters, if they give you the ticket and you have to go to court, who goes to court is the fake entity, but however, you go represent it. The flesh and blood go represent it. So when you put your hands and they tell you to swear and give your name, you are acknowledging that that fake entity is you. So this is what they are abusing. Okay, remember the capital U that they created, it's being treated with no moral, because that entity is dead. That entity is what's black. That entity is what's African American. It's not the flesh and blood you. The flesh and blood you is still indigenous, but you don't know that. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, I hope it makes sense. So I'm not trying to tell you, oh, don't be black and proud. No, I'm trying to let you know that black people are dead within law. Okay, and if today or tomorrow they change your identity to pink, 10 years from now, our children will be in the street talking about pink lives matter. And that's just real talk. It's just real talk. So family, that's the reason why you cannot get justice. You are not getting justice because you are black. As you could see, I am not black. I'm going to say that again. You are not getting justice because you are not black. You are not getting justice because you have accepted the classification of being called black. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. When they came, they met the copper-colored races. Copper. I'm going to repeat that. They met the copper-colored races, not the black races. So when they change your identity, they were able to abuse who you are, and they could kill you in the streets, and you will not get justice. You will never get justice when you continue to call yourself black. You have to free yourself from that. Okay? You have to detach yourself from that. And for people who say, well, you know what, it doesn't matter. Well, if you say it doesn't matter, you still pay rent, don't you? You still pay bills, don't you? You still buy food, don't you? You still have their identification in your pocket, don't you? So it does matter. Okay? It does matter. All right? So like I told you before, black means death within law. Okay? All right. So now we're going to talk about natives. And the reason why I'm going to talk about natives in this video is because a lot of the natives, what they call the natives, they have a hate or a lot of animosity or resentment for the copper-colored races that are indigenous to the Americas, because even they themselves, they were miseducated, and a lot of their ancestors helped enslaved our people who were already here. You see, they don't know that we were the first ones here. They think that they were. And again, I don't want this video to be misconstrued as me trying to promote hate, but I have to tell the truth. So I'm going to share my screen to you or with you to show you that the term Native American is a federal government construct that was created just to show you that those people are not the American Aborigines. They are not the indigenous people of the Americas. And like I said, don't believe me. I don't want you to believe anything that I say, because I always say that documentation beats conversation. And I'm going to show you the documentation. And this little piece of information that I'm going to show you, I got it from another chief's page. So thank you, Chief Hathan Ashoba, for this little bit of information right here. And you always do great research, so I thank you for that. So I'm going to show you guys that little bit of information, and I'm going to read it to you. All right? So let's go with that. And family, like I said again, do your research yourself. Don't believe anything that I say. Okay? So I'm going to read it. The term, the political term, and federally recognized tribes are corporations. Be careful what you call yourself. That's when we speak about etymology of words, they get hammed words. The Native American Party was founded in 1841 at a state convention in Louisiana. Tenants were that foreigners, open and especially Irish Catholics, close brackets, were to the American party to the belief that should not be allowed to hold any office of public trust in the government, whether federal, state, or local, in 1854. The policy that even the United States would be after an immigrant had lived in this country for 21 years, thus the symbolism. The Know Nothing movement was an American political movement that operated on a national basis during the mid by limiting or ending the influence of Irish Catholics and other immigrants, thus reflecting an anti-Catholic Navist were active in New York politics as early as 1843 under the banner of the American Republican Party to other states using that name or the Native American or some variant. Okay, family? So just again to show you exactly what we are talking about here. All right? So family, I want you to really take a look at this, all right? Do the research yourself. Be very mindful what you call yourself. And to all these natives out there that call yourself the native Indians, again, no disrespect to you, but your ancestors didn't tell you the truth. Your elders didn't tell you the truth. You are not the original people of this land, okay? And I have experienced a lot of racism and hate from a lot of them on my page. Oh, what kind of chief are you? Niggers are from West Africa. This is our land. Well, guess what? I have some news for you. It's not. Okay? We were here. We were here from the beginning of time. And again, native was created by the federal government. That's why all these federal recognized tribes, they are constructs, okay, of the US federal government. Okay, they are under contract, i.e., example, Dakota. That's why they could go and do what the hell they want with them, because they are property of the United States. They are property of the United States. Okay, so for all the natives out there, you got to do some research about your history, about who you truly are, and you need to start showing some respect to the original people of this land, because the truth is coming out. It will come out. If you look at one of my videos, you would see where Donald Trump, I think in 1993, somewhere around there, he said that when he was trying to buy casinos, he said it. They don't look like Indians to me. They are not real Indians to me. And the real Indians know that they are not Indians. And again, I am not here to bash anybody. But when you people come at us trying to discriminate against us and hate us, just know that we are the original owners of this land. All right, this is our home. This is our land. And everybody else who came after us, they are squatters. And I'm just keeping it real. And that is the facts. Do your research on that yourself. All right. So family, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. Okay, eventually, the truth will come out. So who are we and what are we? Okay. Yes, indeed, Trump did say that. Okay, and I already have a video about the whole $5 Indian thing. So like I said, do your research. All right, do your research. Don't believe me. Everything that I tell you, I want you to think that I'm lying and prove me wrong. Okay, now we're going to talk about being indigenous. Like I said, I've done videos on that before. We are indigenous to the Americas. In fact, we are indigenous to the entire world. Okay, we are indigenous to the entire world. Any other ethnic group or race that's not what you call Black, and I'm using that term very lightly, they are not indigenous to the earth. They are natives, meaning that they came after. We have been here for millions of years. All the other so-called races, the Asians, okay, Caucasians, any other race, they are new. They are a new race, okay? The original people have been here for millions of years. Millions, okay? So a lot of the reason why these people hate us is because when they came here, the world was already inhabited by our people, okay? And they found out like, wow, we came into a world where this world had already had inhabitants. So we have no place to live. We have no place to go. So we have to hate the original people. We have to hate our parents, okay? And that's why these people have a hate for us so much. It goes deeper than what you think it is, okay? And that's why they are abusing us and have all this type of animosity towards it. They literally hate their parents. They hate their parents. So even if we are indigenous to the entire world, we are also indigenous to this part of the world, because every inhabitant chose a certain section of the world to manifest themselves. So the American continent always had its people. Like I said before, we didn't come from Africa. Okay, so we have been here, family, and this is your home. So that's what it means to be indigenous. Okay, the American Aborigines, the original people of the land. Now, let's talk about land here for a second. A lot of our people are chasing what's called reparations. Okay, what you may call it. So-called Black people cannot get reparations. Okay, So-called black people cannot get reparations because black doesn't exist. Black is dead within law. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. So-called black people or African Americans cannot get their land back because they don't exist. How can you give something that's dead land? Land has life. Land is life. Land is the mother. Pardon me. So literally, you are dead, so you cannot get anything back. You cannot get reparations. It doesn't matter how much you sing it. It doesn't matter how much you cry for it. It doesn't matter how much you match in the streets. You're not going to get it. Okay, because you are the walking dead. You are the zombies. Okay, you have no life, so you cannot get it. The only way to breathe life back into your body is to detach yourself from her. Okay, become organic again. They have made a shadow representation of you that they are abusing within the statutes and codes, which what they call law. Indigenous people have a different fight. It's only when you become indigenous again, you become the American Aborigine again, that's when you will get your land back. Okay, that's when you will get your birthright back. But until then, you will not get it back. I promise you that. Prove me wrong. Go ahead and stay black for the next 600 years, and I promise you that nothing will change. People are always seeking change, but remember, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, is called insanity. It is insane. Even our brothers and sisters in Australia, the Lalakea tribe, got back their land. They got back their land because they remained indigenous. If you don't believe me again, prove me wrong. Do the research. You see, I always want you to think that I'm lying so that you could say, okay, I want to prove the chief wrong. Prove me wrong. But they never changed their identity, and they fought until they got their land back. Every other ethnic group who hasn't experienced the Holocaust that our people have experienced, they have gotten some type of redress. But you are not getting it. You know why? Because you are not in your proper identity. The money is there waiting for you. The land is there waiting for you. But you cannot get it because you're not who you are. I hope that makes sense, family. Let me turn this light on. I hope that makes sense. Okay? So we could get our land back. This is our land. Like our ancestors said, we don't claim the land, but the land had already claimed us. So our souls and our spirit, their blood is in that land. They are here. They are awoke. And they want you to know that they are still here. But first, you have to forgive them, because a lot of us are holding heavy hearts and animosity and resentment to our ancestors. And they are feeling it. So they want you to forgive them because they have forgiven you. Okay, for the resentment that you have towards them. It is time that we start honoring our mothers and fathers. Pay homage to them. Okay? They have you paying homage to a Jesus that never existed because they wanted to take your power away from you and your connection to your ancestors and gave you Jesus. Jesus is not your ancestor. Jesus is the ancestor of the Caucasian race that created him. That's not your ancestors. Their God is not our God. Okay? Their God is not our God. They said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So therefore, if the Word was God, and they took away your language, when they took your language, they took your word, and therefore they took your God. And they gave you theirs. So it's time to give it back to them. Give it back to them. And I promise you, you will start seeing some miracles happen. Our land is waiting here for us to get it back, family. You know, and we are waking up. We are waking up. Believe that. We are waking up. So I just wanted to share that information with you guys. I'm gonna go to the chat right now and see who we have here. Give some people some shout outs. I know I shouted a few people already, but you know, Authentic One, you know, what's up, family? T Hudson, hey Jazzy Jazz, you know, we have one morning. my brother Sanchez doing his things on his channel. Go check him out, family. Subscribe. We have Candy Roma. Hey, Candy, what you gonna call it? I sent you an email, so check that out as well. Chief Holiday, my brother. These cosmic I said that calling the ancestors daily to destroy this beast. Of course, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. What up? You know, peace and love, family. Renisha, what's up? That's what we have to do, man. You know, we have. What's up, family? You have to know that the connection we have to our ancestors. We have the power to call on our ancestors. Right now, they have what's called UFOs flying over China. And the same one that was flying over China, now it's flying over France. And they're calling it UFOs. No, it's not UFOs. Those are our ancestors. Okay? They are here watching over us. They're just waiting for us to honor them. Give up this Jesus. Give up these people's gods and honor our ancestors. They are the ones who came before us. You feel what I'm saying? Jesus didn't die on the cross for you, man. Our ancestors got hung on trees for us. So we have to wake up and keep it real. Beyond Smith. What up, family? What's up? What's up? Lynn Lavie. Their religion, their God has done nothing for our people. That's a fact. And nobody could prove me otherwise. On every corner in our neighborhood, there is 7 churches. But yet still, what's happening? Look at our neighborhoods. I mean, I don't even have to get into that no more. All right? One Miss Scope, what's up, family? Yo, do me a favor, man. Somebody, this dude, could y'all delete him or something? Because this dude is, you know, he's a troll. This John Dean. All the comments that he posts, please, just block it. All right? Just block it, man, because this dude is not here to build. This dude is a troll that's here to be destructive. All right? He's here to be destructive. All right? Because every time he comes, he wants to, I could feel his energy. His energy is not to build. Okay, he's here to bring our people down. So every time he posts, just block him. Eventually, he will get rid of himself. All right? But family, we have to keep vibing high. And another thing we have to talk about is this. We have to create our own. Okay, we have to create our own. We cannot afford to depend on a system that doesn't have our best interests at heart. Okay, again, this is our land. We have every right to do that. We have every right to do that. It's only when you remain, and I'm talking to the indigenous people, the American Aborigines, because you are still their citizens, they get to do what they want with you. Okay? But once you give that back to them, tell them to keep that. Our ancestors didn't want it. And as a matter of fact, in their own statutes and codes, I could prove to you that you are not a citizen. Because you could never be a citizen of the United States of America. They told you that in their own statutes and codes. So literally, you are in a big game. You are in a big game and you cannot figure your way out. But I am here to show you the way. I am here to wake you up from that. Okay? Wake you up from that. And the entire world is waiting for us to wake up. It is not the other way around. They are waiting on us to wake up. We are the trendsetters. When they show you the movies about the guardian of the universe, that's us. We have a responsibility. And it's time that we step up to the plate. You feel what I'm saying? Jazzy, much love, much love. You feel me? There we go. Release the matrix. Okay? So all I'm just asking you is this. Or not necessarily asking you, but giving you some information on how you free yourself. Okay? Free yourself. Become that blood being again. Because they have taken that away from you and created a fake entity, and then they are abusing it. That's why within law, you have no right. They could do what they want with you in the streets. And the world cannot intervene because you are private property. Private property. Nobody could tell anybody what to do with their slaves. Okay, family? It is time that we start educating ourselves, waking up, uniting so that our children will not continue the perpetual cycle of slavery. Okay? I know you want to be black. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I used to be there. All right? When I got into the knowledge of really knowing that black is dead within law, I was so disappointed because the black power was so, it just seemed so powerful to me. Not realizing because I have accepted the classification, they could abuse me in their system. Not because of the hue of my skin, because I'm not black, but because I accepted the classification. See, there's a difference. There's a difference. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. If anybody have any questions, we could we could deal with that right now. If you have any comments that you want me to embark upon, but still keeping it within the context of what we are talking about, then we could do that. But family, just know that we have to honor our ancestors. Okay, honor them. If you had some great grandmothers that ascended or went to the next realm, if there was anything that they like, set up a little altar. They have a lot of videos, on YouTube teaching how to set up altars. You know what I mean? Give them what they used to, what they like. You feel me? Put their picture on there and honor them, because they will correspond with us. Hey, Brother Nighthawk, go ahead, brother. Yes, we definitely need to learn our true history before, yes, 1776 and the laws of the land, because we had those before they came. Tribal laws still exist, okay? But they, of course, everything is a shadow. That is their game. They like to create fictitious things from the real thing, because they always like to create what's kind. Remember, there's man and there's mankind. So mankind will always create the kind of something. So we had natural laws of the land, and they created statutes and codes, which is a kind of law of the land. But it shouldn't and it doesn't apply to indigenous people or the original people. It only applied to their citizens. But you think you're a citizen, so they are using it to abuse you. But you could never be a citizen. It is written in their own statutes and codes, okay? You will never be a citizen, okay? Should we fight every battle or look to win the war in the end? Okay, my advice would be, we have already won, okay? We have already won. We just don't know it. You see, I always tell folks, let us stop focusing on the enemy, in a sense that let us stop trying to make them lose. Let us focus on winning, brother. That's what we have to do. Focus on winning, because when we focus on winning, that means our energy, okay, will just be focused on winning. But when you focus on making your enemy lose, that's too much energy that's being diverted from our mission, okay? But we have already won. All we have to do now is just align ourselves on that frequency, because everything is there waiting for us. It has already happened. The battle has already won. All we have to do now is just redirect ourselves, okay? Redirect our frequency. You see, a lot of things that's happening in Miranda's sister, welcome. A lot of things that's happening in the news, I don't see it because I'm not on that frequency. A lot of things that's on the radio, I don't hear it because I'm not on that frequency. It's only when you're on the frequency you see the defeat. Okay? It's only when you're on that frequency you see the failures. I don't see it because every day I see me winning, because I'm on the frequency of winning. Okay? I'm on the frequency where my ancestors need me to be so that I could stay focused. But every time you focus on them, then you start seeing all the problems and you're not seeing the solutions. You get blinded. It's a distraction. So stay focused on winning. Stay focused on the right path so that you don't get distracted. So, Brother Nighthawk, I hope that makes sense. All right. Same here, Jazzy. I haven't watched TV for over almost nine years now. I don't watch TV. You know what I mean? So we have to stay focused. It's, again, remember, everything is about vibration and energy. Everything is energy. And a lot of it is, no problem, brother, and a lot of it is an illusion. And the illusion only becomes real when you focus on it. You feel me? If I don't know something's happening down the block, then it's not my reality. It's only my reality when it becomes aware, when I become aware of it. And even when I become aware of it, it's still not my reality. I am aware of it, but it's not my reality. However, if I give it energy, that's when it becomes my reality. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, we manifest our reality. Okay, not everything that we are aware of, we should invest our energy in. Remember, human energy, human life is the #1 capital on the face of this earth. Okay, it is the greatest gift. So if these people are using your energy to create wealth for them, what is it doing for you? You see, it's doing the opposite for you. So now we have to learn to harness our own energy to build for ourselves. Our people spend on average $1.3 trillion every single year building a system that kills us. So in other words, we are paying for our own destruction. Thank you, Beyond Smith. I appreciate that. I'm going to say that again because I don't think y'all heard me. Our people spend on average $1.3 trillion a year. And we are giving that to a system that's killing us and destroying us. So by default, we are paying for our own destruction. And then they lie to you and tell you it's only about 45 million of us here. 45 million people, it's impossible to spend $1.3 trillion a year. It just don't add up. It don't mix. It don't add up. Numbers never lie. So literally, like I told y'all before, it's about 150 million of us right here on the mainland. But they don't want us to know the number. So when they do their census, they tell you it's 45 million, so you don't get no bright ideas. Oh, it's 150 million of us? Oh, yo, it's time to tear some shit up. They don't want you to get any ideas. So they want you to think that you are always the minority. But just know that it's over 150 million of us right here because we are the original people. And they cannot get rid of us because we are the first and the first will be the last. There is no need to be afraid. You see, our people need to stop eating all this meat. You feel me? Because that's also putting the fear in you. The fear of all that's coming from eating animals who was killed in all these gross ways in fear. So now that goes into your DNA and you're afraid of your enemy. We have no reason to be afraid. That's why I'm not afraid. Because as soon as they take this physical body out, I'm coming right back. And they cannot stop me. Because I have a job to do. I was sent for this mission. So we have to wake up and realize who we are. No need to be afraid of death. You see, they came and gave you a Bible to tell you to be afraid of death. They tell you to be afraid, but yet still they're telling you that when you die, you go into heaven. So I have a nice questions for all these Christians and all these religious people. If heaven is such a beautiful place, why are you afraid to die? Go ahead and die and go to heaven. Get it over with. Why are you afraid to die? You see, it's because in their heart, they know that is some bullshit. But because they were indoctrinated, they're not sure what to do. So they say, you know what? I would rather stick with the devil I know than the devil I don't know. That is what religion has done to our people. But I'm here to tell you today, there's nothing to be afraid of. You see, there's nothing to be afraid of. Because I'm going to ask you something that makes a whole lot of sense. If the United States government look at the so-called Muslims as terrorists, right? And Muslims could literally put a bomb on their body and run into a building because they know they're doing it for their God, right? And if so-called Muslims are the biggest terrorists, how is that when they catch them in the streets, when they're doing stuff in the streets, even when they throw bombs, they don't kill them. They capture them alive. But you, our people, you walk in the street, you pull out your wallet, you get shot. Why is that? You have to ask yourself why. Is it because of the color of your skin? No, it's not. It's because your classification in the system makes you dead. So therefore, when they kill, they are not killing a flesh person or people. They are killing what's called human capital. They are killing stock, not stock, but stock. You see what I'm saying? That's what they are doing. So to them, it's moral. There is nothing immoral. It's like a bad account, account, so to speak. You feel me? It's literally bad debts. It's like in accounting, bad debts. That's what you are. And I hate to put it that way, but it is what it is. All right, family? So it's time that we regain our blood self, which is the indigenous peoples of this land, the American Aborigine. We have to go back to that. Okay? And that's one of the ways that we would start seeing our way again. As a people, we could come together and get back our land, because they are squatters. They are literally just squatters squatting on our land. Okay? And once we, as the people, wake up and we ask them, let me see the titles of this land. How did you get it? How much did you pay for it? We want to see the titles of our land, and they have a right to show us. But we have to wake up, family. We have to wake up for that to happen. And that is why they have to change your identity over and over and over and over again, to get you further away from the truth, to get you further away from who you truly are. Because if today or tomorrow we just woke up and knew that this is ours and we could get it back, it would be a wrap. It is that simple. But yes, it is so hard, because the brainwashing has been so deep. It's deep. And it's been going on for years and years and years. But I am here to tell you that we have already won. We have already won, okay? Because our ancestors are fighting on our behalf. All right. Jazzy said they got rid of the analog, replaced with the box before the smart TV came out to control your lower vibrations. Oh, of course. Well, I mean, we already know what it is, family. So we have to go back to nature. Okay, we have to go back to what's natural. All right. Says you can escape fate. The end is getting nearer. All right, that is true. You know, remember that so shall it be in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. So if we were here in the beginning, guess who is gonna? I know what you meant, brother. Guess who's gonna be there in the end? You know, it's just that it's taking its time because too many people are still asleep. But it's all right though, because those of us who are chosen will pave the way. We will pave the way. All we have to do is just keep planting those seeds. And that's why my message is always consistent. Since I have found myself, if you look at my videos, it's always consistent, because through repetition, eventually it will start clicking with the people, because in our DNA, okay, the truth is embedded in your DNA. So therefore I have to keep repeating myself, telling you the same thing over and over and over again until it click. And once it click in your DNA, it resonates with the soul. It's a wrap. They can't stop you no more. And that's why I tell you, don't spend too much time in the conscious community, because they are vibrating on such a low frequency, they will suck you into another portal that you don't want to be in. So you got to stay vibrating high. Now, don't get me wrong. You could get information from them. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to decipher what's real and what's not. Okay? You have to research it. And after you research it, you have to insert it. All right? Raise that vibration, raise that frequency. Stop eating that dead flesh. Okay? Stop eating that blood. Stop listening to the poison music. Stop eating the poison foods. Alkaline your foods. Meditate. Don't pray. Meditate. Okay? Be careful of the words that come out of your mouth. Because within your tongue, there's power of life and death. So give your words life and not death. Okay? Always raise your brothers and sisters. Keep them vibing high. And that's how you raise your vibrations. Great ways to raise your vibrations. All right? So let's make it happen. All right? We are the chosen ones. God is going to use us to do great things. And we are, you know, Kim, we're already doing great things. You know what I mean? We're already doing great things because we were the ones who built this civilization. They just don't give us credit for it. But it's okay though, because you see, everything that's done in the dark will come to light. And my job is to bring my people into the light. Okay? That Adrienne, peace and love, family. My job is to help my people come into the light, come out of the darkness, come out of the blackness, and let your light so shine before men. Okay? That's what we are doing. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared. All right? Any man that could bleed just like you, we shouldn't be afraid of them. And guess what? We also have the spiritual powers fighting on our behalf. I mean, come on. I mean, there is no greater force to be on your side. Our ancestors, all the millions and millions and millions and even billions of them that they murdered, their blood is on their heads, waiting for us to wake up and call on to our ancestors. And those spaceships that you see flying around, they are real. That you hear about, they are real. Those are our ancestors. They wouldn't tell you that. They'll tell you it's a UFO, unidentified flying object. No, it's the ancestors that are flying around because they are here and they are awoke. Because like I said, Dr. King came to me in a dream and it was real. He touched me. I felt it. It was real. So don't let nobody fool you, man. You got to know who you are. You got to know the power that you possess. What I want to do, because like I said, I'm moving out of New York soon. I probably got like another 8 or 9 days here. But when I move, I'm going to start doing group meditations. Okay, where we could do it. I mean, I'm talking about it. We could set up a time for like an entire hour. We're going to meditate and we're going to focus on one thing. And we're going to get everything that we want. We're going to manifest it. Okay, it's time we start fighting using some spiritual powers that we have. Because I'm going to tell you, they say that the revolution will not be televised, but guess what? It will be televised because this is part of the revolution. The revolution starts within. Okay, it's within. You have to revolt against the beast that's within you. Fight that beast. Master that beast. That's what you have to do. That's what it's all about. Mastering the lower self that's in you. And when you master the lower self, you will master everything that's outside of you. So know that we can manifest anything that we want to. Let us reach out to our ancestors. So when we meditate for an entire hour, I'm talking about thousands of us for an entire hour. I promise you, watch how this world is going to change. Because we cannot step up against them because they got bigger guns. They got bigger grenades. Okay? They have that. But guess what? We have something that they don't have. We have our ancestors fighting on our behalf. Okay? We have the spiritual powers that they don't have. And that's how we win. Remember, they tell you in their book, in the last days, well, when they say last days, it doesn't mean that the world is going to end. It means in their last days. You see, you have to peep the game. In their last days, they will be fighting against principalities and powers. You see, it's a code book to tell their people about them and what's going to happen to them. So in the last days, there will be principalities and powers. In other words, they are telling their people the code. Look out because their ancestors will come back. The spiritual powers, we have to fight against that. So know what we have on our side. Jesus is not going to come fight for us. Jesus is fighting for them. That is their God. That is their creation. And the God in the Bible is not fighting for you. That is their God. Those are the lords and the gods of England and Rome. Those are their deities. Okay? Peep the game. The Lord in the Bible, those are the lords of England, going around killing and raping our people in our lands. They are telling you what they did with their gods and their lords. So it wasn't meant to work for you. The Bible is meant to work for them. And I want you to prove me wrong, because look around you. Look at the state of our people, but yet still they are the most religious. Apparently, something is wrong with being religious. Anytime, Adrian, I'm just doing what I'm called to do. Many are called, but chosen a few. Okay? And I know that, like I tell people before, I don't want to lead people. I want my brothers and sisters to walk with me. Let us walk together. Let us stand together. Because together we will stand, and together we will never fall. You see, you only fall when you are divided. You see, there's a saying, together we stand and divided we fall. I don't believe in that. You only fall when you are divided. But when you stand together, you never fall. Don't let them fool you with their little trickery words and their little parables. You see, all that's to play on your mental. Tell you, oh, you can't trust your brother. You can't trust your sister. You can't do business with them. Who said that? You see, that's what they made you believe. Because they don't want you to build. But I'm here to tell you, we could trust each other. How do we trust each other? We set up a trust. That's what trust accounts are set up for. Let us draw up legal documents. Because we already had law before they came. We already had trust before they came. So never say you can't trust your brother or your sister doing business. You see, everybody's trying to get hookups. That's the problem. But when you do things in a legal fashion, you create what's called a trust, and you work within the trust, then you have no reason not to trust your brother, because the trust has already been established. I hope you hear me today. So like I said, this is not a game, man. This is not a game. All right? We have to start waking up and handle our affairs. Okay? Start walking out of their churches. Don't be afraid. Walk out of their churches. Walk out of it. It's a business. 60% of your tithes and offering goes to Rome, and 40% goes to the crown. Your pastors are on a salary. It's a job. It's a business. It's a hustle. Their Jesus is not coming to save you, and their God is not coming to save you. I don't care how much you speak in tongues. I don't care how much you speak in the country. I don't care how much you speak in the urban areas. I don't care what you call it. It's a bunch of bullshit. You're not saying anything. It's babble. It's Bible. Bible is the same thing. It's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS. So it's time to wake up. Okay? It's time to wake up, and we need all our spiritual warriors. That's what we need. Okay? So we can harness and call out to the great spirit that our ancestors worshipped. They didn't worship no damn God in the Bible. They didn't know no damn Jesus. And that's just real talk. You feel what I'm saying? But family, I just got to keep it real. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to criticize my brothers and sisters who are still caught up in religion. You know what I mean? That's not the point, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what religion you have. Because you are their slave, they treat you the same way. Because when they put a bullet in a so-called black man's head, they didn't stop him and investigate to ask him what was his religion. You feel me? Because you are still in their system. It's only when you come out of Babylon, it's only when you come out of the beast, it will make a difference. And I don't mean to leave your land. I mean the system. Babylon is a system. The beast is a system. Pardon me. What you don't realize is that the beast in the Bible is the same God and the devil and Jesus all in one. They just play different roles. I don't think you heard me though. The beast in the Bible, Satan and God and Jesus, they're all one. Okay, they're the same. They're just playing different roles. They are on a big stage, playing different characters. It's a one-man play. so to speak. And that one man is playing different roles. He's playing Adam, he's playing Eve, he's playing Jesus, he's playing God, he's playing Lucifer, he's playing the devil, and he's playing the beast. They're all the same. And I could prove it to you. All I'm just going to say is this: prove me wrong. Don't believe me. Everything that the chief is saying today, I want you to say that he's lying, and I want to go find out for myself. So if you think I'm lying, go look at Isaiah 45:7. Isaiah 45:7 in the King James Version, where he says that I, the light, I brought the light, the darkness. I brought the good, and I created evil. It's in the Bible. But you see, they are so brainwashed that they would not believe it. Even if you read it to them. It's called cognitive dissonance. I just proved what I just said to you. Go look at it right now. Isaiah 45:7. I want to see if somebody could go look at Isaiah 45:7, the King James Version, and put it in the chat. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Oh yes, Miranda, we're gonna do that. When we do business, we're gonna set up a trust. Okay, we're gonna set up a trust, and that everybody who's doing business will be in that trust. Okay, and nothing could be done outside of that trust. Nothing could be done outside of that trust. And that's how we continue to trust each other, by building and creating that trust. We have done it before, and we could do it again, and we are going to do it again. As it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. They can't stop it. This is prophecy. They can't stop it. So I want somebody to do me a favor. Don't believe me. I want you to say, Chief, you're lying. And go pull up Isaiah 45:7 and put it right here for me, please. If you may. If you want, I could try to pull it up myself. Okay? But go look at Isaiah 45:7 and put it right here in the description. As a matter of fact, you know what? Even better yet, I'm going to look for it my damn self. Because I want y'all to know that this is not a game. Isaiah 7. All right, thank you. There we go. I was about to post it. I from the light and create evil. I, the Lord, do all things. Okay? Hey, Renisha, thank you for that. Look at there right here. Okay? King James Version. I form the light. I create the darkness. I make peace. I create evil. I, the Lord, do all things. That's your God in the Bible. But let me ask you a question. Who is the Lord? That Lord was the lords of England. That was the lords of Rome that came to our land to destroy. Remember, they told you the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. The Lord and the devil in the Bible is the same, because as you could see, that God created the evil. So y'all better wake up and peep the game. Like I said, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You see what I'm saying? Prove me wrong. Everything that I tell you, I want you to tell me that I'm lying. Just so that you could come and say, you know what? The chief is full of shit. He don't know what he's talking about. And one thing I've always told y'all is this. Whenever I give any information, if the information is complete, and I do my research and I find out, I will let you know. I would say, family, you know what? I dropped some information and it wasn't complete. Here's more information to validate what I said. Because like I said before, I will contradict myself. I will contradict myself because, for one, we are learning every single day. I am a student first. That's why I tell myself I am never a teacher. I am a student of life first. I am a student of nature first. I'm always a student. And I will always remain a student. All right? So family, it is time to build. It is time to unite. Let us stop telling each other that we can't trust each other. Okay? Let us stop disrespecting each other. Let us stop that. Let us stop calling our women bitches and hoes. Let us stop listening to this kind of music that's degrading our women. Any society, okay, that degrades its women, just look at their state and their condition. Any civilization or nation that's great, they rise as great as their women. Okay? Even in antiquity, the women chose the pharaohs. Okay? The women chose the chiefs. Women chose the kings. Because you know why? They gave birth to the pharaohs. They gave birth to the kings, and they gave birth to the chiefs. They choose them. Is it not the other way around? Let's respect and honor our women. Let us respect and honor them. If you see a sister, okay, that's vibrating in her low chakra, you don't embarrass her. Okay? You give her some good information, give her some good knowledge. All right? Put her on the right track without making it seem so threatening. Okay? Give me a second here for a second. Okay, hey, Sister Miranda, I will hit you up, after I'm done with the live feed. Okay, my question from I was going to church was, if Jesus Christ was so important, why is there no record of where his tomb was or where he was crucified? Because he was never real. You see, they have tombs of pharaohs. They have the DNA of pharaohs because Akhenaten is one of my grandfathers. They have that, okay? They don't have those things because he never existed. And if he walked the face 2,000 years ago, they would have had artifacts. Okay? They would have at least had the cross that he was crucified on. They would take you to the tomb. Literally, they take you to the tombs of the pharaohs and kings. Okay? They have the mummies. How come they can't find Jesus? Because he never existed. You see, that is their God that they created. They created that God and created an energy to harness people's energy so that they could take over the world, to destroy the world. You see, it was a sacrifice to be washed with a man's blood. Remember, Jesus was just a man. Jesus didn't become the Christ until he was baptized. So he was just a man. So people are literally worshiping a man, want to be washed in the blood of a man. Sisters love their husbands. They love Jesus more than they love their husbands. I hear men say the only man I want my wife to love more than me is Jesus. You got to be a sick bastard. That is sick. You know what I mean? But family, it's time to wake up from that, man. Of course, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for mama. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So when you see our sisters falling, pick them up. All right? Don't disrespect them. Don't kick them down. Don't do that. Pick our sisters up. And brothers, when you see your brothers falling, pick them up. That's what we do. That's what it truly means to be your brother's keeper, to be your sister's keeper. They may not appreciate it at the moment, but guess what? You are going to plant a seed. You are going to plant a seed because a lot of our people are damaged. Okay? A lot of our people are damaged. So now we have to start healing ourselves. We have to start forgiving ourselves for the hurt that our people have endured. Family, it's not our fault, family. It is not our fault. It is not our ancestors' fault. Okay? Those were just the cards and the hands that we were given. This is a poker game. It's a poker game. All right? And sometimes the hand that you're given, you just got to play it. But remember, sometimes in poker, you could also pass. Okay? So let us pass all the negativity. Let us pass all the destruction, the low vibrational energy. Let us leave that alone. Let us bypass that and let us start vibrating high. Hey, what's up, Ramon? It's all good, family. You know what? We still here. We still here vibing, family. We still here vibing. Do you still make money on them after death? Of course. You know, because I mean, this is a whole business. You know, when you're born, you have a birth certificate, you got to pay for that, right? When you get married, you have a certificate, you got to pay for that. When you divorce, you have a certificate, you got to pay for that. When you die, you have a death certificate. It's a contract. They still contract you in your death. So even after you're gone, they still have that contract. Oh my gosh. Family, do you see the perpetual cycle of slavery that our people are enduring? Everything is a contract. Even your birth, even your death certificate is a contract. Contracting in death so that you could never be free. Wake up, family. Wake up. Stop signing these contracts. Stop signing birth certificates. Stop giving your children away. Stop creating slaves. Stop it. When you get married, stop signing marriage certificate and asking these people to get you married. Get them out of your business. And don't get married under the banner of their God. That is the devil. Look at all these marriages. Oh, what no man put together, or what God put together, no man put asunder. But look at all the divorces that's happening right now. All these broken homes, but yet still they got married in the name of the Bible. Oh, chief, don't hurt them too much. Don't hurt them too much. Even Jesus said he came to put enmity, okay, to make the father against the mother against the father, the daughter-in-law against the father-in-law. Jesus said he didn't come to bring peace, but he came with a sword. And what is the sword? The sword is the cross. They told you what they did to our people, but y'all don't hear me though. All right, Kim asks, should we get rid of our birth certificates or just wait until we come up with a plan to break free of the system? Well, family, there's a way where, you know, of course, we putting in some work and we're doing some research. You know what, Kim? Send me an email, because my email is in the bottom of this right here. If it's not, I'll put it again and then we'll discuss that. Certain things I don't like to just put out there in public, but yes, remember, if you read UNDRIP, go look at UNDRIP, UNDRIP. You have the right to an identity. Remember, those people forced us into what's called assimilation. Kim, you didn't sign a birth certificate, did you, when you were a baby? So that means it was done against your own free will. Okay, so that means you were kidnapped. You became a prisoner of war even before you even had a chance to utter a word. Okay, so they cannot hold you to that contract. So yes, you could give it back to them. Okay, you know, just to answer that in a brief sense. All right. So yes, family, we have a right to self-identify. When you are a baby, your mother gives you a name because you cannot identify yourself. However, when you are grown, if you so choose, you could change that name. It's your choice. And you have a right to do that yourself. Curly, what's up, family? Curly said, just came in myself, chief. He's on fire. No doubt, you know, we going in. The deaf system still asks for money that the loved ones have to pay. Of course, that's what it's about. Remember, this system is about commerce. And one thing you have to realize is this. I have no hate in my heart. Okay? I do not hate these people because they are doing their jobs. They are on their jobs. They are doing their jobs. You see, the devil, which is the system, the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. The devil is doing its job. My question to you is, why aren't you doing yours? You see, I am more mad at me when I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. They are handling their business. Okay? They are getting paid. They are giving you the contracts. You sign the contracts, but whenever somebody gives you a contract, it's in their favor, not yours. Okay? So that is the difference. That is the difference. Okay? So we have to wake up and take responsibility for our own lives. We are adults now. So now we have to make our own decision. We have a right to self-identify. Okay? You have every right to do that. Get your certificate, vote, copies of your birth certificate, Aborigines. We are the Aborigines. We are the original people of the Americas, and we have to make that statement. We have to put them on notice. This is who we are. We are not just citizens. We are not just slaves. As a matter of fact, Okay, in their own documents, in their government archives, they are telling you that you cannot be a citizen. But you see, our people perish for the lack of knowledge, the lack of studying. Study to show thyself improved. So when you're going around calling yourself a citizen, that's actually fraud, because you're not a citizen. They could arrest you on that alone. Family, this is a game and it's real. And there is a lot of traps set up in this game. Okay? They have so many codes and statutes to tie you every turn that you make. It's a game. And every turn that you make, you run into a wall. Have you ever seen the computer games when you run into a brick wall and no matter how you go, but you keep stepping, but you can't go anywhere? A hamster in a hamster's wheel? That's the reality of our people. No, not all of us. The majority of our people in this game. That's what it is. All right? Dion says, once we have turned a few into a million, you can actually ask to have the state no representation. Of course. But from there, we have only one another. And of course, and I'm cool with that. Because you see, we did it before. We took care of ourselves before they came. We were self-sufficient before they came. So our people are under the illusion that we need these people. We don't need their system. Their system is not organic. They are poisoning our foods. They are poisoning our land. But don't worry about it. When we get back our land, and I'm not saying if, when we get back our land, because I'm manifesting that. When we get back our land, we could reprogram our land. That's the power we have. We could reprogram our land. All right? And that's something that we could do. So we don't have to worry about that. All right? Ms. Rice says, can you please explain the driver's license and its deception? Well, again, it's a contract. The driver's license, if you are part of the system, you only need a driver's license when you're doing commerce. That's why you need a license. Okay? All licenses are created for commerce purposes. So therefore, a birth certificate, that's a license. Okay, it's on bond paper, it's a contract. You get a marriage license, that's commerce, it's business. So all those things, licenses, that's when you're doing commerce. However, when we are moving about our land, this is our home. We have a right to travel our land. You don't need a driver's license, and that's actually law. But because a lot of people don't know it, they get caught. You know why? Because you are their citizens. But when you are in your proper persona as indigenous, the American Aborigine, you don't need a driver's license to move about your land. You are not driving. You are moving about your land. Okay? So I hope that makes sense to answer, my sister's question. I'm starting to realize that a lot of our people don't realize that they are turning them into renters and not owners. I mean, it has happened that way. It has, from the moment these people came into our land, okay, we went from landlords to tenants, and they went from squatters or renters to landlords. But now we have to flip that script, okay, because they just reversed everything. So now we have to flip that script and go back to the landlords and let them rent from us, because they owe us. They owe us moolah. Okay, they owe us, and we have to get paid. All right, but you cannot get paid being black, and you cannot get paid being African American. Those classifications are dead within law. All right. Data Dog says, do you take callers? Family, I've done it before. Not on this call, but I've done it before. You know what? I'll do a live feed one day, and we're gonna make it a Q&A, and we'll go into that. All right. So we're not gonna do that today. So I hope you're cool with that. All right. All right. So we have he's actually what's email. Hi Vibes Chief. What's email? Okay. I think my email is in the description. You know what? If it's not, I'll put it again. Yeah, so my email is right here. Hey, thank you, Jazzy. Thank you. Much love, and I appreciate that. All right. Vocab shows you belong to. Yeah. So like I said before, that was what was created. Okay, a fictitious you so that they could abuse. All right. So we have to go back in our true blood self, meaning that the connection to the land is to be indigenous again. All right. Be indigenous. Be the American Aborigines. In other words, the people they met when they came. That's the real people. But they had to create a fake you so that they could abuse the fake you. And that's who that's being abused in their eyes. They are not abusing real people. In their eyes, they are not killing real people. They are killing fictitious corporate, what would I call it? Corporate entities. That's the word, okay, or the term. They are killing corporate entities. That's not humans. That's why our people are dying in the streets from their hands. It's not because you are black. You are not black. When they came, they didn't meet black people. They met the color-colored races, not black. Okay, so when they kill you in the streets, they are not killing black people. They are killing a corporate entity that was created, not human. That's why they could get away with it, because they are not killing flesh and blood. They are killing the capital fake entity, which when they created was you. All right, I hope that makes sense. There we go. So we have to learn to get back ourselves. Take back yourself. In other words, be born again. All right, be born again. So that you have to get back yourself. All right, family, go back to a child. You have to recreate yourself. All right, go back and get your original self, because your original self was taken. All right, a shadow was created of you. A kind of you was created. That's what they know. Mankind, that's what they do. They only know the kind of things. They are not organic. They are not authentic. So they could only operate doing things in the kind of. Okay, mankind, they are mankind. So that's what they know, because every time when they came, everything was already here. So they had to do something that was a kind of. All right, when they came, they met high civilizations. They had to tear it down and create the kind of civilization that works for them. So when they took the original you, they had to create a kind of you, and they put it in all caps. So that is what they are abusing. They are not abusing the real you. I hope that makes sense. In their mind, they are not abusing real people. They are abusing corporate entities. Your social security number is being traded on the New York Stock Exchange. You are a business. And again, let me make my disclaimer. I am talking to indigenous peoples of the Americas and around the world. Okay? I am not soliciting or talking about the United States citizens. I'm talking, you are not a citizen. Okay? You are indigenous thinking that you are a citizen. All right? So I hope that makes sense. If only had a brain. Dion says, continue your missing, King. The first powers are in words. From there we manifest. Of course, because you see, everything is mental. Everything is mental. That's why they told you in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God. So when they took your word, they took your language, they took your God. All right. But remember, everything goes back to thought, because if in the beginning the word was God and God is the word, then all words came from the thought. Remember, everything has a mother. So the mother of the word, which is God, is your thought. So the mere fact that you could control your thoughts, okay, then you control your God. So always control your thought, your mental. That's why they have governments to control your mental, governmental. And governments create religion to control your governmental, your mental. All right, so wake up from that. All right, family, I have to keep repeating those things because it has to make sense to you. That's the only way it's gonna resonate, through repetition. Okay, because hearing something once, you're listening, but you may not hear it. It has to be repetitive. Okay, so you could know, and not just that, you have to research it yourself. And after you research it, then you take some time, you fall back, then you insert, you ask the higher self, you ask the most high, you ask the creator, okay, and you ask the ancestors to guide you through this. But you have to do it in honesty, with an honest heart, so that they could see your true, that you are sincere. Because our ancestors, or the spirit, they don't deal with all the bullshit, or hypocrites. They don't deal with that. They deal with the pure and what's real and what's moral and what's righteous. That's what they deal with. So that's how you have to go to them. All right, you cannot go to them and be a hypocrite. That's Christianity. Okay, you could do everything evil from Monday to Friday, and on Saturday and Sunday you could go and Jesus is going to forgive you. That's religion. It doesn't work like that in the real world. All right, that's an illusion. All right, I hope you touch on the foods and how they're using it to mess with us genetically. Absolutely, family. I mean, you have to know. Again, you have to know thyself. Anything that's not organic is a detriment to who you truly are as an organic being. Okay, we are organic people, so we have to eat foods that's out of nature. But even what they're doing right now, they're poisoning the food. So right now we have to get ourselves to a place where we have to start growing our own foods. And that's why I am telling you, well, I don't like to tell, but that's why I am suggesting that our people stop calling themselves black, stop calling themselves African Americans, go into their proper persona so we could step up and get our land back so that we could grow our own foods. Okay, grow our own foods, have our own communities, do what we got to do to be self-sustained. The illusion of you thinking you can't do it alone and you need them. You see, that's hindering a lot of people because they have gotten you so dependent. It's like a grown-ass man or a woman want to stay with their mom until they're 50. You know what I mean? But literally people are becoming 190 and 80 and they still have a mom and a dad, which is the federal government. So at some point you have to go on your own, family, and that's what we have to do. All right? Oh, hey, no problem, Mr. Wright. I just Spot said, I hope you touch. Oh, I just did that. Yeah, family. We the key is we have to grow our own food. We have to go back. We have to go back to growing our own food. All right. You have to control what goes into your stomach, and the only way to control it is to know where it's coming from. All right. And once you know you can grow your own food, then you know that you could trust that food. All right. So I hope that makes sense. Cover your ears, citizens. This for adults. Absolutely. I am not talking to citizens. I always like to make my disclaimer. I am speaking to the indigenous peoples around the world, the indigenous peoples of the Americas. Okay? Because again, the citizenship was created on the foundation of our land. That has nothing to do with us. You see, our people got caught up in that matrix. All their codes and what they call statutes and codes and laws, it don't apply to us because we are not citizens. But you think you are citizens, so they are abusing you. Time to wake up, family. All right. All right. You need to link up with Solus Solari. I'm not sure who that is, but if you think we need to link up, then you could make it happen. Because like I said, I'm about building. I like to connect to our people. I have reached out to Pharaoh. I've reached out to. I've reached out Sanetta. They don't want to link up. That's fine. You know what I mean? But it's okay. I tell folks, just be very mindful of the people that you follow. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, and I'm not saying them per se, but a lot of people are not authentic. You feel me? They are chasing the dream. They are chasing that paper. Okay? So you have to be very mindful of that. And even with that, I know Brother Pharaoh was going through something where he was raising funds for some legal battles that he's facing. And I hope the brother is all right. I know he had a deadline to raise some funds and the deadline passed, and I think he made his quota. So good for him. Happy for the people who supported him. And I hope his situation will be resolved soon. But brother, once you get that resolved, I want you to come back and start bringing the truth to the people because you have a large platform. And just imagine if you told them the truth. You know what I mean? That would just change things for our people. And again, I thank Brother Sanchez, my brother, for doing what he's doing. And he also have a large platform. And I encourage him to start telling our people and talking to our people, letting them know who they truly are and how we could escape, this matrix. All right? The answer 60% of American food is naturally grown, 20% is banned. But you know what, family? And just to, sort of like embark on what Brother Dion said, they have what's called, and again, I'm using that word very lightly, but that's what it's called, the Black Farmers Market, I think in North Carolina or South Carolina. Once we get our communities together, family, we could order food from our people. You see, the means are there. Okay, it's there. We just have to support our own. So let us not be afraid to step out on our own and do what we have to do. They cannot stop us from doing that. All right? It's literally, you respect me, I'm going to respect you. I respect you and your citizens, respect me and my people. It's as simple as that. It's a matter of mutual respect. I've been running through and reviewing some of your videos, and now I don't feel so alone on this journey anymore. Plus, that Trump Jubilee video was of the chain. Well, thank you, Mr. Rad. I appreciate love that, family. You know, like I tell folks, I want my platform to be a different platform because I am really about the true, you know, liberty of my people. That's what I'm about. I ain't got time for the games. You know what I mean? This is not a game to me. I don't do this for any monetary gain. I do this because I know at the end, you know, why would I want to do this to make $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 or even 2 million when this whole continent is mine? I mean, that doesn't, to me, it's an oxymoron. And you see, these people that's only chasing that illusion of money, that fiat money, they don't see the big picture, because I'm looking at an entire continent, but they're looking to get to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So I am literally the king of a continent, and you are the king of a continent. You are the queen of a continent, and you're trying to chase a couple of dollars to take you to Hollywood or to be a celebrity. What sense does that even make? But you see, it's about the miseducation and the brainwashing. This is our land, man. We are the kings and the queens of this land right here. This is ours. All right? They're just holding it. That's borrowed time. They are holding it for us. And it's time to wake up and go get our shit back. All right? And that's what it is. All right? We don't support our kind enough. Well, that's what it is, family, because, you know, we were taught not to support each other. Jazzy said, they can't teach what they don't understand or understand. That is true. That is true. You're absolutely right. Exactly. Some just want thumbs, clicks, and yeah, that's what it's about. You know, they're looking for supporters and followers so that I am the man. You know, I am intellectual and I am smart and all that. And, you know, a lot of times on Facebook, I see Dr. Boyce posting stuff and calling people black, and I interject right away. Stop calling other people black, because I have to keep punching that. I have to keep planting those seeds. You know what I mean? Because those people, they know. They know. It's not that they don't know. But you see, that whole energy of being black is for commerce, okay? It's for commerce. So it's about making money. So that's why they're continuously keeping you in the dark by being black, by keeping you dead within law, because it is working for them. It is paying their bills. But like I said, I would rather be walking in the streets with my brothers that they call homeless, okay, and not sell out my people. I would rather do that. And that's why I come to you guys and I say, listen, support the GoFundMe, because it, you know, it allows me to free up my time, do the research and do what I do, because I'm giving you my all. Okay, I'm giving you my all. And it's just always good to receive your love and your appreciation as well. And I'm not saying that it always has to come in a form of monetary value, because I know a lot of times, a lot of what people don't have. So I don't feel bad when people don't donate. I really don't, honestly, because if I did, I wouldn't continue to come and do what I'm doing. You see, I do what I do because I love it. I do what I do because I was called and chosen to do that. So for me not to do it because somebody's not donating, I am literally hurting my own self. I can't do that, because my ancestors are pleased with what I'm doing, and I want to keep them smiling, because I have seen their pain. I have seen the tears in their eyes. I have seen what they have went through and what they have gone through. So I know they sent me for a reason. And my mission and my goal is to uplift my people, bring them back to their organic self. And I will see it coming to fruition. That is my goal. So I'm always going to be upfront and honest with you. Like I said, if I bring some information and it's not 100%, I will come back and contradict myself and say, family, that wasn't complete. But maybe this is that and that is that. That's just what it is, man. All right, keeping it real. All right. This is the biggest secret. They know the truth, but pushing black. Yeah, that is true. That's what they're doing, man. That's what they're doing. Jay Spada said the worst part is when they got the information and hold on that you have to tune in again. Yeah, because you see, again, it's about ego. I want to be the smartest. I want to have the most subscribers. I want to have the most followers. You see, that's what it's all about. But me, I am thinking of us getting back our land, us getting back our home, us getting back the allodial titles of our land, because it's there waiting for us. Okay, it's there waiting for us. So family, trust me, I'm telling you, when I move, the ancestors already have so many things in place for me so that I could help facilitate our people. I mean, it's going to be so amazing. And I know what I'm going to accomplish within the next year. I probably haven't accomplished it, and I'm talking about physically, within the past 5 years. because I was taking the time to grow. My ancestors, they were getting me seasoned for this. And I have sacrificed so much. I'm talking about personally, physically, spiritually, relationship wise. You know, this August, like I said, August 17th or 18th is going to give it 3 years since I've been celibate. I had to go on that spiritual journey for me to be initiated. You know what I mean? So I tell people, this is real. It is not a game. This is real to me, man. And trust me, the temptation is there. The temptation is there. I mean, women throwing themselves, but I have to control myself. You know what I mean? I had to control myself because I know I had to go on that spiritual purge. You feel me? So family, you have to know your purpose, know your calling, know what mission that you came here to accomplish. Okay, exactly. We have skills, you know, we have that, and we could build. You know, we used to barter. Okay, we didn't have this fiat money, and we have gotten so dependent on it. We think that we are crippled if we don't have it. But I'm here to tell you, family, we have life. We got our mind. We got skills. Okay, like Sister Miranda said, we could build again, and we are going to build again, and we will rise again. So shall it be in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank all you guys for tuning in. I'm not going to prolong this, but I just wanted to come here and share what happened in this vision, in this dream, let you know that our ancestors are well, that they are well and alive. Dr. King is not dead. Malcolm is not dead. They are here with us. Their spirits live in us. Some of them have reincarnated in us, and we don't even know. Because all of a sudden, you found yourself waking up and wonder, what happened to me? Damn, I was asleep 2 days ago. All of a sudden, I'm awake. That is our ancestors that's literally manifesting themselves in you. And you have to take the time to realize which one of them and connect with them. And they will show you who they are. And they will pick you up and they'll support you and they will take you where you need to be. Believe that. All right. All right. So Chief Holiday, I had an involuntary CIA. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about, brother. I know what you're talking about. But mine was voluntary, though. It was a decision that I had to make because, you know, through my meditation, you know, I was told that I needed to do that for 3 years. You know, so honestly, I haven't seen a vagina in 3 years. I don't know. I forgot what it looked like. I mean, if I was to draw one right now, it would probably look like a peacock. You know, but you know, it's all good though, because I feel great. You know, I feel great. And just because I made that sacrifice, so much is being revealed to me. So much is being put forth to me so that I could continue my journey. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. Dion said, explain that, donate, King. Well, family, you know, I have my GoFundMe. The link is below. And like I said, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, asking, you know, my brothers and sisters, you know, it's not mandatory that you give, but if you find the information on my channel is very helpful and it's helping you in your journey, then, you know, just feel free to give back. It's not mandatory, but it's love and it's appreciated. And just go to the GoFundMe and hit the link, because at the end of the day, it's coming right back to us. It's coming right back to you. All right. So it can smell you. I mean, hey, you know what? Like I said, you know, it was just a matter of control. At first, it was a little tough. It wasn't difficult. You know, it was just a slight challenge. But once I made up my mind that this was a spiritual thing for me, you know, I couldn't allow the physical body, you know, to throw me off on my spiritual journey. So I had to stay focused. So, you know, right now we're in May. So we have June, July, August, about almost approximately 3 months. So after that, I will take my time, you know, go on a couple of dates if I have to, get to know a couple of people. And yeah, it's 3 years, you know, I'll be seeing a vagina for the first time, maybe sometime this year. So, you know, like a virgin again. So, but it's cool though. It's a beautiful thing. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Dion. I appreciate that, brother. All right, you said, whoa, vagina is wonderful. Oh, I mean, it's wonderful. Don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. You know, I didn't, you know, choose to be celibate because vagina is not beautiful. You know, I mean, that is, to me, that is the most beautiful place on earth. You know, when it's, when it's tight and, you know, the energy is right. But I just had to do it because, like I said, it came to me in a vision. That's what I had to do to be initiated. You know what I mean? And, you know, at one point, like I told y'all before, I think into my 2 year of being celibate, I think I had a vision one time where, you know, an energy came out of me. You know, it came out in a flame, and it came all the way from my root chakra, and it just came up as a flame and blew out like a dragon from my pineal gland. You know, and from there I had a vision that my ancestors told me, you know, we chose you for this, you were initiated. So, you know, like I said, that was a personal thing. It was a personal thing, you know what I mean? So I had to get it done. So yes, Miranda, I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. You know, so I know the yoni is, it's calling me, man, but Chief, just another 2.5, 3 months, you know, just chill, relax yourself. You're gonna be all right. You know, you're gonna be all right. But even with that though, yes, he said tight and right. Of course, you know, Jazzy gotta be tight and right. You know what I'm saying? No loosey goosey right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to dive into the ocean. You know what I mean? Nah. But I'm just having fun though. But family, with that being said, man, you know, we gotta embrace each other. We gotta love each other, man. She said, my husband said, you're gonna hurt somebody. Nah. You see, I'm not into hurting. You know what I mean? I'm not into hurting. You feel me? I'm not into hurting because a lot of times people think that having sex is about hurting. I hear dudes talking about, yo, I'm gonna smash that, I'm gonna mash it up, I'm gonna hurt it. Sisters talking about, yeah, beat that pussy up. I'm like, what are you talking? Why do you want people to beat your stuff up? Like, what type of barbaric stuff is that? That's like coming from the slave plantation. Why do you want people to beat your stuff up? That doesn't make any sense to me. You know, but you know what? That's what they taught our people, man. You know, the carnal aspect of having intercourse. Why you want people to beat your stuff up? Like, what, you want me to take a brick and beat it up? Like, take a baseball bat and beat it up? What are you talking about? You know, no. I want to take my time and romance it. I want to make love to it. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch it. I want to take pictures and take selfies next to it and shit. Click. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, stop. You know, to beat it up. What are you talking about? Beat it up? No. Can I take a selfie? I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, shit. But family, I mean, nah. You know, it is still, you know, it is like me. I want to take, you know, when I have my woman or, you know, my wife or my wives, you know what I'm saying? I want to take her or them to ecstasy. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm trying to beat you up and hurt you. No. I keep telling dudes, you could never hurt a woman. Don't get it twisted. Women have 10, 12, 13-pound babies. You cannot hurt women. Okay, that's men who looking to build their egos. No, gotta take your time and make love. Make it feel good. Make her toes curl. You know what I'm saying? Make her tremble like she in ice water. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to beat her up like, you know, she a slave. What type of foolishness is that? Stop the BS. You know what I'm saying? Of course. I mean, Chief Holiday, you already know. I mean, come on, please. I don't eat meat. You see what I'm saying? So the only meat, I guess, I'm gonna have to eat, you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not just gonna eat any kind of meat though, you feel me? I gotta make sure that meat is vibrating on a high frequency. I don't wanna eat no low vibrational meat and I come out looking like a zombie and shit, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't wanna go down there and come up walking like the Walking Dead. You know, Chief coming back talking about doing videos, yo, what's up, Black Power? You know what I'm saying? Like, Chief, what happened to you? Well, you know, I was celebrating, you know, I ate some coochie and now it's Black Power, you know? Nah. Nah, man, yeah, nah. You know, right now, I just want to vibe. I just want to vibe high, you know what I'm saying, with any sister that I'm going to deal with. She has to be vibing on a high frequency, you know what I'm saying? And to me, that's what it is, man. You know, we have to be equally yoked when it comes to that. You know, I cannot be dealing with her and she's in the church. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Right off the rip, that's not going to work out. That's not going to work out. You feel me? It's not going to work out. And and to me, it's not just going to be about having sex. No, you know, it has to be about building. It has to be about coming together and building something, create a legacy. So many relationships, you know, people have so many relationships, and when they break up, they have nothing to show for it except sometimes animosity or 12 children, and then 10 to 1, the mother don't want the father to be in the children's life because she hates guts. I don't want to deal with that. You know, I want to deal with, you know, a sister, you know what I'm saying, or sisters that know that regardless of what, even if things don't work out, we still have a relationship. And if we do have children, then we both have to keep that balance, because our children need both parents, and we have to respect each other. That's always going to be ground rules. And if we have any type of disagreement, let us deal with it outside of the home, where the children are not, where they can't hear those type of arguments or the debates or the conversations. You know what I'm saying? But we have to create some type of balance in the home. So that's what I'm about right now. I'm on some real grown man stuff. You feel me? That's what it's about. Yeah, man. But yeah, I want to know what Chief Holiday talking about, man, for real. All right. Sinalu said, true, gotta leave that low vibe animal sex behind. Yeah, of course, family, we gotta do that, man. We gotta do that, because creating all these low vibrational children, you know, a lot of times we create soulless children and we don't even know, because we vibrating on such a low frequency, just going around humping everything you see. You can't be doing that. And that's what they taught our people, you know, just hump, hump, hump. Now we gotta respect intercourse. You feel me? We gotta stop looking at it as sex. It is not sex, it is intercourse. Okay, you intercourse, you enter into a course, okay, with another person for a particular reason. All right, and that's what intercourse is about. It's about coming together and exchanging fluids, okay, to build, to create, to manifest things. And a lot of times you don't always have to be a baby, but you could actually have intercourse to manifest wealth, to manifest, you know, health, to manifest a lot of things, because it's about creating. It's about creation. Okay, having intercourse to create whatever you want. It doesn't always have to be children. So there's an art towards this. I'm not trying to beat nothing up. All right, I ain't trying to go to jail for killing no vagina. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Leave me alone. All right. All right. So well, Jazzy, you already know, man. We was going in. I have that years marriage for 24 years with each other. Hey, Miranda, congratulations, man. Tell the king, man. You know what? Keep it righteous. That's what's up. You know, when you have a good woman or a good man, you know, definitely, you know, appreciate him, appreciate her, and whatever y'all going through, always know that you could work it out. It's all about communication. Remember, people have an understanding, or people will tolerate honesty more than you think they would. So a lot of times we don't give our significant others enough credit as they should, because they will. All you have to do is just be honest. Be honest, man. Just be honest. And regardless of what it is, you know, you may be able to work it out, you may not, but at least you know you were honest. And that's what I always tell people. Honesty is the key. Prince Moore says, peace to the chat. Speak the truth. Peace, brother. Hey, you already know, Prince. You know, this is how we do. On this platform right here, we try to do things a little differently. You know, we try to bring nothing but the truth to the people, because only the truth that will set us free. That's how we are going to literally, as a people, learn to trust each other again, by building trust, by working within trust. All right, and telling the truth to each other. Communication is the key. We have to communicate. Okay, don't let that negative thought come into your mind. Say, well, you know what? I have to hide this from her or him. Tell the truth. Sacrifice the truth. Say it. Tell it. All right, and then work it out. They will respect you more for that. And always go into a relationship being honest. If you know that being in a monogamous relationship is not your stilo, then let your partner know that. Whether you may be a man or a woman, let them know of the jump. Let them know of the rip. Like, listen, you know what? I know we're trying this out, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's not in my nature. But if you want to see how it flow, fine. But I'm just letting you know up front. You feel me? Be honest, man. My thing is, I always tell people there is no such thing as cheating. That's something that was man created. It's in people's nature to want to love more people and be with more than one person. But at the end of the day, it's a choice that you make. If you choose to be in a monogamous relationship, then honor it. That is my thing. Honor your relationship. All right. But if you want to be in a relationship where you feel like, you know what, you want to have more than one partner, keep it real with your partner. Keep it real. Don't let them get into the relationship under the pretense of believing that they are the only one in that relationship. That's when people hurt people, by not being honest. And I hope that makes sense. All right. Explain that energy you got when you took that journey from not having sex. Well, family, like I said in the beginning, it was a slight challenge. You know, because you have to look at, again, me, my background, I've always been around women. You know, like I said, I used to be an entertainer, you know what I'm saying? So I was always around women. So when I took that hiatus, it wasn't really tough. It's just that I lost a lot of female friends because they was like, whoa, what happened to you? I mean, you know, nah, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. I tell people that was my journey. It was my journey, and I had to do what I had to do. So I had to literally just, again, I did a lot of meditation, a lot of self-control, women, who I used to deal with. I had to tell them, stop sending me pictures, certain pictures, you know what I mean? Like, I had to get disciplined, man. I had to get disciplined. So that's what I had to do. So like I said, August is going to give it 3 years. So I'm proud of myself. And I'm enjoying the ride. I'm enjoying the ride. And I love the space that I'm in right now. I love the space that I'm in right now. Hey, truthfully honest, what's up, fam? So I'm really loving the space that I'm in right now. So, and it's to each his own. I'm telling everybody that celibacy is not for everybody. It has to be something that you want for yourself, and you have to have a reason why you want to do it. Again, I did it because I wanted to purge myself from some of the energies, because when you sleep with people, it is not just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. And that's a contract, okay? Because remember, back in antiquity, there was no marriage certificates. It's when you enter into a woman, she became your wife, okay? It's when you, like you say, he knew her. That means he entered her and she became his wife, all right? That was the contract right there. So people are just going around jumping into people and sleeping into people with all these energies, not knowing that you're already in a polygamous relationship, because that person became your wife. As soon as you entered them, they became your wife. But then they gave you the concept of you need a piece of paper to be married. No. In antiquity, as soon as you go into a woman, that was your wife. That's how sacred we looked at intercourse. So when I came into that knowledge, I said, whoa, I can't be messing around like that and going into all these different women. I'm literally in polygamous relationships, in marriages that I didn't know. And a lot of these women had some negative energies. So to me, it came to a point where it wasn't just physical, doing it just for the feel or the gratification or wanting to bust a nut. I had to get away from that whole mentality. So I had to fall back from that and purge myself. So that was one of the reasons why I made that decision. So I hope that answers your question, family. Nighthawk says, don't think I have ever made love. Wow. Well, Nighthawk, you should try it sometime, man. You should try it sometime. You should try it sometime, because, what is making love anyway? It's, to me, it's an act. I mean, when how can you make love? Love already exists, so you can't make love. But however, you could experience love. We cannot make love. Love already exists. Okay, love has always been there. So we cannot make it. However, we could experience it through intercourse, the feeling of being in love. Okay, we could experience that, but we cannot make love. Love is already there. All we have to do now is learn to experience it. So yes, I have experienced the act of loving or making love. I have done that. And it feels good, man. It feels good. It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, but family, one of these days though, we're gonna get into a grown folks conversation, because we're turning that into something else right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to get the chief to go get some tonight. Y'all better stop that. It ain't happening. I still got August to go. Stop. All right. Phantom said, when a man goes into a woman, they become one, and strangely that being is called a man. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Hey, no doubt, Mr. Wright, for sure. Family, subscribe to the Truthful Honest channel. Thank you, Chief. All right. Who else? Will religion at least? Okay. Look up incubus and succubus. All right. Yeah, Jazz. Drop that knowledge on them. Let them know what's up. Let them know what's up. Let them know what's up. Make sure y'all invite me to the party. All right, but family, this is something I'm also going to plan, right? When on a whole different subject, when I move out, I want to plan where, we could do like sort of like call a retreat. Okay. And I want a lot of us, I mean, the more, the better. A lot of us to come together where we could all meditate together. All right. Meditate together. you know, where we could, you know, pay homage to the ancestors and just literally bring down some energy from the cosmos, man. So that's one of the things that I want to plan on a whole different subject. All right. So Miranda said we connect in feels like the first time every time we connected. That's what's up, because you see, when your relationship is more than just a physical thing, it's always going to be something, a new feeling. Because there's just, remember, we are infinite. We are immortal beings. So you could never get tired of a great relationship because there's always something new. Like you could literally be in a relationship with a woman or a man and y'all could explore the cosmos and see something different every single time. You feel me? So it's possible. It is possible, but you have to be in tune with each other. Okay, your relationship has to be more than just a physical relationship. It also has to be spiritual. All right. So there you go. Becoming friends first is very important. Getting to know your partner, letting them get to know you. You know what I mean? And once you could appreciate your friend, then you'll appreciate your lover. You feel what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense. All right. Jesse said to be those dreams that get a little wet. All right. Yes, yes, Jazzy. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, I wanna definitely set that up where we could, you know, go to maybe some mounds or the pyramids and literally bring down the cosmos, man. You know what I'm saying? Honor the ancestors and bring them down so that they could reveal themselves to us. I know we could do that. We have the power to do that. You feel me? There we go. Bring on the high vibes, bring on the high spiritual energy right here on earth. And so that our ancestors could put those things. I mean, everything is already in place, family. All we have to do now is just put ourselves on the frequency. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's there waiting for us. The prize is already there waiting for us. Like Martin Luther King said, he have seen the promised land. I have seen the promised land because I know it's there waiting for us. All right. So right now, I'm just picking up the torch that my ancestors left so that it has to be carried, you know, and I am ready for that journey. I'm ready for the journey. And I hope you guys are going to walk with me. Like I said, don't follow me, but walk with me. Let's walk hand in hand so that we could get to the promised land together. So with that being said, I'm about to make my exit. Once again, family, don't forget the GoFundMe is below. You know, support your brother because like I said, you know, giving is really caring and sharing is really caring. All right. I come every day giving you my all because I do it because I love you. You know what I mean? So if you can, you know, please support. All right. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a blissful weekend. Have a safe weekend. If you go out, you know, having a little drink don't hurt, but don't put too much liquor in your system. Don't put too much spirit in your system because spirit kills your spirit. The spirit from outside, that liquid spirit, kills your spirit. All right. So don't drink too much of that. Okay. Remember that you are a true manifestation of the Creator. So you are literally the Creator in the flesh. And let us respect our women. Let us honor our women. Let us put them on a pedestal, even the ones who have fallen, that don't know that they are queens. Let them know who they are. Show them and teach them how special they are. Don't belittle them. Don't ostracize them. All right. Let us pick them up. And if you see a brother falling along the way, reach out and say, brother, pick yourself up. Pick yourself up because I see you in me and I see me in you. You are my reflection and I am your reflection. So therefore, if I hurt, you should hurt. And if you hurt, I hurt. And that's the way we should see each other. Okay. The enemy came to kill, steal, and destroy, and they have taken that away from us. But we have to go back to the ways of our ancestors. All right. By loving each other again, caring about each other again, knowing that I am you and you are me. And it's vice versa. Don't see me in the street begging and you pass me straight because you are literally passing yourself straight. But you may not see it, but believe me, that's what it is. All right. And for those who know what I'm talking about, real recognize real. That's just what it is. I never walk down the street. I don't even wait for my brothers and my sisters who are homeless to ask me. My hands are always in my pocket, ready to pull out a dollar. Wherever I go, I have at least 6, 7, 8, 10 singles. Even if it's $1, I give that dollar from the bottom of my heart. Sometimes it's my last, but I give it because I know they need it more than me. And that's how we're supposed to look at each other. That's how we're supposed to see each other. Let us stop allowing this system, okay, to make us turn into what they want us to be. Okay, let us stop allowing them to control our minds. Okay? We are a moral people. We are a loving people. So let us love each other. All right? It doesn't mean that we should be weak. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. But let us love each other. Okay? Let us love each other, because only way we're going to come out of this is together. All right? So with that being said, Jonathan said, Chief, what do you know about the love will be law statements? Chief, what do you know about the love will be law statement? I'm not sure what you mean by that, brother. And brother Jonathan, I actually got your email, you know, and like I said, I've been busy, so that's why I tell you to leave me a number, but you told me you don't have a number, so I have to take some time to formulate an email for you, because a lot of times when people hit me up, I ask them to give me the number so I could talk to them, because I like to hear their voice. I like to hear the vibration. You see, I'm from the old school where I like to connect with my people. I want to hear that vibration in their voice, to feel and hear their sincerity. Okay, because I'm very big on that, on energy. You know what I'm saying? But brother, I get it. You don't have a phone, so I will make sure that I put that together for you. All right, and give you that information that you so seek. All right, because I am a man of my word. When I say I'm going to do something, I always do it, because your word is bond, and we have to go back to that. When we give our word, let's keep our word. All right. Yes, spread the love all over the random, small kind. Of course, that's what we have to do, family. A lot of people don't realize sometimes it don't have to be a lot. If you could give a brother 50 cents on the street, a sister a quarter on the street, man, trust me, it's going to make a difference. But just give it from the bottom of your heart. You know what I'm saying? Just give it from the bottom of your heart. You're welcome, brother. You know what I mean? Just give it from the bottom of your heart. All right. So family, once again, like I was saying, have yourself a blissful weekend. Take care of each other. Take care of your family. And family, within your journey, a lot of people that's around you, they may not see the reason why you're waking up. They may not comprehend what you're going through. They may not understand or overstand what you're going through. But remember, you may feel isolated. You may feel like you're alone, but just know that you are not alone. Okay? Your family, you will lose your family. I could attest to that personally. I have sacrificed so much to be where I'm at, to do what I'm doing. All right? And if you go look at my video about carrying your cross, that's exactly what I did. I carried my cross and I got crucified. And when my side was pierced, I let go of that final breath, and my ancestor said, you are initiated. We chose you to do this. And sometimes you have to lose everything. Everything. And when I tell you everything, I mean your children too sometimes. Just so that you would be worthy of carrying that torch that your ancestors left you to carry. So I know sometimes it's going to feel lonely. You're going to feel isolated, but just know that you are on the right path. Because the road sometimes to that salvation is not the broad road. It's the one that's less traveled. And sometimes you have to travel alone. But whenever you feel alone, shoot me an email. Give me a call. Okay? I'm always here. And that's one thing I let people know. I guarantee you, like I said, everybody who reach out to me, I reach out to them. The only time I don't reach out to them is when the email gets lost, because I get so many emails. But I always make it my duty to reach out to my brother or sister, because I know what it feels like to be walking this walk alone. But just know that you're not alone. All right? So, anytime, Sonolo, peace and love, family. You know, it's about, we got to keep vibrating high. So once again, thanks to everybody for tuning in, you know, and I doubt I'll do any live video for the weekend, but if I have any information I think it's pertinent, you know, then I will just upload it. But I'm just going to try to chill. I have some filming to do, so I'm going to do that for the weekend, do some editing. And again, I have a few more days out here in New York, so I'm just enjoying my time, relaxing myself for the next journey that my ancestors are going to take me upon. All right. So you guys enjoy the weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. And once again, thank you so much for allowing me to be in your space today. It really means a lot. I appreciate love it, and I appreciate love you as well. So thank you so much, and enjoy yourselves and be safe. All right. Peace and love. Don't forget, Black means death within law. African Americans means death within law. Indigenous is life. Indigenous is light. The American Aborigine, we're still here. We never came. We have always been here. We are not going to leave. This is our land, and we are going to get it back.